Welcome to the module on flexible pavement. In this module, we will be talking about the mixing of wet mix macadam material. Starting the details of mixing of wet mix macadam material, let us discuss about the cross section of the road or the cross section of the flexible pavement. The cross section generally starts from embankment top, then you have a subgrade layer. On top of subgrade layer, you will have a subbase, which is generally called as a granular subbase material, and then the road base, or also it is known as the wet mix macadam. So in this particular module, we will be talking about the mixing of the road base material or wet mix macadam material in particular. So to start with, let us define the wet mix macadam. It is a road-based material consisting of crushed rock or slag, usually pre-mixed with controlled amount of water sufficient for adequate compaction. WMM shall consist of laying and compacting clean, crushed, graded aggregates and granular materials pre-mixed with water to a dense mass on a prepared subgrade, subbase, base or existing pavement as the case may be in accordance with the specifications of given by Ministry of Roads, that is MORTH. Preparation of mix and mixing of WMM. If you see, WMM shall be prepared in an approved mixing plant of suitable capacity having provisions for controlled addition of water and forced positive mixing arrangement like pug mill. This is the typical layout of the wet mix macadam plant, which consists of on the extreme left. On the extreme right, you can see the 4 bins. In the center, you have the pug mill, and in the extreme left, you have the storage hopper or the discharge unit. So this is the water tank through which the controlled amount of water is being added to the pug mill to produce the wet mix macadam. This is the bin for 40 mm, this is the bin for 20 mm, this is the bin for 10 mm, and this is the bin for dust. So what is required is all these 4 bins are being calibrated in order to get the required quantity of 40, 20, 10 and dust for the WMM mixes. So the requirement of the mixing plant is the plant should have the following features in order to produce the wet mix macadam. Cold aggregate bins with minimum 4 bin feeders as shown in the photograph with variable speed motors, vibrating screen for removal of oversize aggregates, a conveyor belt, a control system for addition of water, forced or positive mixing arrangement like pug mills or pan type mixers, anti-segregation, hydraulic operated or surge hoppers, centralized control panel for sequential operation of various devices and precise controls, and then the safety devices at each location. Now, if you see the video, we are starting the first discharge is the discharge of stone dust, which has to be in the right proportion as being designed and achieved. That is, for this example, we have 32% of sand in this particular case. So the gate opening or the bin is calibrated in such a way that you achieve that much of percentage of dust. And then the second hopper is discharging your 10 mm aggregate. The third hopper is discharging the 20 mm aggregate, which is being collected by the main conveyor, all the 4 types of aggregates. And this is the fourth hopper, which is discharging the 40 mm aggregate. So when you move from right to left, the discharge is dust 10 mm, 20 mm and 40 mm. All are being collected to the main conveyor as shown in the videos. So calibration is an important part, and the RPM needs to be set at set frequencies. So the combined aggregate is now being moved to the main conveyor, which is being connected to the pug mill. Okay, but before getting into the main conveyor, which is being fed to the pug mill, you have a vibratory screen which is meant for the removal of oversized materials, if any, because in the 4 bins you don't have a sieving system. The gates are open 100%, and if there is a bigger particle passes through, then it will be cleared from this position. So once this is the location where you can collect the dry samples and check the gradation of the materials being mixed. And this is the outer view of the pug mill, and this is the water line which is being connected to do the to deliver the amount of water required in the mix. And the mixing unit is doing the mix properly in order to discharge the mix from the bottom. And this is the final conveyor which is collecting the mixed WMM along with water to the discharge hopper. So this is how the bins are being designed. So in short, if you see the requirements of the mixing, you have 4 bins as shown in the photograph, a vibrating screen and a conveyor, which you have already seen in the videos also. Then you have a pug mill, which is basically consists of 2 shafts and blades, which rotates in order to develop, or in order to produce the required consistency of wet mix macadam. This is the centralized control panel which controls the RPM of the main conveyor, so that the production can be increased or decreased if the calibration is being done using the RPM method. So once the calibration is done on RPM, then for each bin the RPM is being logged, and the whole plant is operated using the main control switch, or the main RPM switch, which is on the center of the machine. So mixing of wet mix macadam, if you see, WMM is mixed in a pug mill. The gate openings is adjusted to the required percentage as obtained from the grading requirements. Once the grading is fixed, the gate opening is sealed for future productions. All the 4 bins were adjusted for different materials to be added in the mix. The percentage of water to be added is adjusted using the knob of a water line. Once the required water is achieved, the opening is sealed for future production. The sample is collected from the belt to check the grading requirements of WMM as discussed in the videos shown. So this is basically the unit of a pug mill, which generally gives you the indication like you have a water inlet. So the dry mix is getting mixed with water at this location, where you can see the shaft and the rotation of the shaft. So this will help you to collect the material to the discharge bin. To summarize this module, we talked about the definition of wet mix macadam, the plant requirements of wet mix macadam, preparation of mix and the mixing details of wet mix macadam, requirement of the mixing plant or the WM plant, and the controls required during the mixing. In the next upcoming modules, we will be covering the precautions or the general conditions required during production of WMM mix in order to achieve the right material to the right location. Till then, thank you.